Hi guys, it's me, Jonathan. From the Jedi Archives, also from the Virtual Cantina Network, and I just got back from Comic Con San Diego, and we're gonna do something a little bit different today. Normally we review comics and stuff like that. If we do some unboxing of Star Wars, but one of the things you see at Comic Con San Diego a lot is a bunch of booths with mystery boxes, and they've been super intriguing for me. And I decided I need to pull the trigger finally, and I wanted to get pretty much a good deal. They had a buy four and get one free deal, and I decided to pull the trigger on that. And each one is themed, as you can see, but then the fifth one is kind of more of a generic theme. We'll get into that. But this is from Stylin Online. They're originally a clothing store. They still are a clothing store, obviously, but they branched out a lot more things. So if you want anything very nerdy like Stylin Online is a good place to get anything like that. There are tons of options, as you can see. And this is just some of the boxes. They had thousands of boxes there, and I want to say at least 50 different themes or IPs for boxes. So it's really cool to finally get it. It took me a while to just even land on these four. So we'll get right into it. But I do want to say, full disclosure, I did open them right before this to get all the trash out, because I know trash is kind of annoying on video. Nobody wants to see it. Messes up with the audio. So I took all the trash out of all of them. Went through it all. Didn't look at everything too intricately. We'll do that here, but did go through them all. But the magic one we'll get to later. I didn't take the trash out because that was it was an interesting situation with the trash in the world. When we get there, I'll show you. Let me move some of these off to the side and try not to make too much noise. And we'll start with probably one of the Stranger Things, the smaller one. I just came back from Comic-Con. I had an absolute blast. If you haven't gone, I definitely suggest you guys try and make it at least once in your life, but I try and go every year. All right, so here's the Stranger Things. Oh, and each of these boxes range between like $50 to $70. They did have some smaller boxes that were cheaper, I think like $30, but those weren't part of the deal, so I ended up getting the ones that were part of the deal. So there's the box right there. All right, so they say, when you talk to them at the booth, they say between 5 to 8 items from the IP, kind of around. They say great for gifts, stuff like that. And they did do something recently that I was kind of happy they did. They got rid of like T-shirts and stuff. They used to have T-shirts on it, and of course people love T-shirts, but they were on the side of the box would say the size. The T-shirt, you couldn't actually look at the T-shirt or wear the T-shirt. So one of the things would happen a lot is not every shirt size is the same. So you say you always wear large, but this large is tighter or smaller. So, and then sometimes it'd be wrong. It'd say large and it'd be a medium. So they just got rid of the shirts, and I think that would work better. So we got a bunch of just little knickknacks now, which is cool. All right, so Stranger Things we're opening. So it is a pen set. Get really close to the camera on that one. I'm losing focus. Did I lose focus? It's not gonna let me get too close, but it's not even a pin set, it's a button set. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. It's a button set. Friends Don't Lie, 11, Stranger Things, Stuck in the Upside Down, Team Barb. That's funny. A little sad. All right, so we have here, should probably take them out, might be easier with plastic. This looks like a keychain. One of those are rubberized keychains. It just says the upside down. It's another little, I don't know why my camera goes fuzzy when I get too close. There you go. So there's that. So it has Demogorgon on it. A pen. It says multicolor pen, stylo, multicolor. Oh, it's just another language. All right, so it's a multicolor pen. It says Hawkins High School, so which is very, very cool. Go close to the camera. Always Hawkins style stuff, which is very cool. But like I said, it's a lot of knickknack stuff like that. So, but it's great for gifts. The value is there. That if you add everything up, of course, you're going to hit the dollar amount. But you might not like everything in this. It's going to always be to each their own. Here is a journal. It looks like it's texturized. It'd be really nice if it's texturized. Let's see. And it's got a very soft near felt. It's even got it's got the Demigorgon with some slashes on it. It's very cool. Journal. This is like one of those things that probably ranges like 10, 15 bucks online. So it's worth it value-wise, but I don't journal, so it could be a gift for someone. There's a mug. It says mornings for coffee and contemplation. That's great. There's Harper. If you watch the show, you know what that means. Coffee and contemplation. I don't quite know what this is. I'm going to go through this a little faster than a lot of boxes. We can't spend too much time on each of them because this video might never end. This, I have no idea what this is. Oh, there's like a wall hanger. All right, so this is like something you put on your wall. It's glass. It almost looks like a giant coaster. It's very interesting. It's glass. It almost looks like fan art. Oh, what it is, it's Demogorgons in the Upside Down playing Dungeons and Dragons with the kids as little figures. This will not come across on camera, especially because of the glass. But still, you can kind of see the kids right there in the center. Try to get the light around it. Right in the center of the light. You see the kids like little figures and the Demogorgons playing. It's cool. Yeah, it's definitely a glass, and it's very... The original artist did some pretty cool painting on it. So that's pretty cool. All right. One thing you'll see probably a lot of these is stickers. So here's some stickers. The kids. Actually, it's the kids. You see, I think that Will was his name as the wizard. See some Demogorgons. Yeah, here are the stickers. This is wicked looking, and I wish this is a poster, I'm sure. Yeah. This is a poster. It is the ending. Oh, God, what's the kid's name? I don't know what the kid's name. This is chapter 9, the piggyback. All right, so it's pretty much just a poster for the episode chapter 9, the piggyback, where he, I think Eddie is his name. He goes in the upside down and plays a guitar, which is really, this is an awesome art, actually. So the house upside down. Yeah, put this framed on maybe a little bigger poster. Still framed is cool. That's cool art. I like that. What is this? This almost looks like I didn't take all the trash out. Sorry, I know this noise is annoying. Sorry, I got most of it. This is I thought it was a plate at first, but no, it's got the wall hanger. So this is another thing that goes on your wall. It's a picture. It looks like the very first poster art, but it's one of those parallaxing ones. So it definitely adds depth to it. You're not going to be able to see that in the video. Oh, actually, you might see a little bit. It's got the original poster art, which is very cool. But it's thick. It's almost like ready to go on the wall now. You don't have to put it on a frame or anything. It's kind of cool. I like this one goes. Yeah, it's the same size as the other one too, so kind of cool. All right, that was it for this one. I think this one was $50. As you can see, it's a lot of little knick-knack things. So actually high quality stuff. This is actually very high quality. Journal. I just don't journal. You get keychain, buttons, pen. This is actually pretty high quality too. It's actually thick glass, decent glass. I guess it's wall art. Looks like a giant coaster to me. And the mug, obviously, that's probably the centerpiece of it. Yeah, Harper, it's awesome. All right, how did I get all this in? That's the other thing. They always fit it in a certain way. I can never get it all back in the same way. I've bought very, very few of these before. Honestly, I can only think of one off the top of my head. I bought Avatar one years ago, and it was very, very random. And I like that. Kind of like them around. This is a very random box, which I like. Kind of all over the place. Almost. How did they get all this in there? Random box stuff all over the place. I think I like that a little bit more than you'll see some of these, which I will glance at when I take out the trash. Some can be very this, and this, and so. But these are very just like almost like they're just running around their warehouse throwing stuff in. Let's do the Dungeons and Dragons ones next. Dungeons and Dragons actually something. I mean, it's an iconic IP, one of the most iconic, long-lasting IPs. Personally, I've only gotten Dungeons and Dragons recently myself, which is almost a shame. I should have been doing it years ago, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I saw it, I was like, you know what? I got to pull the trigger. I need to pick 4 IPs to get the 5th box. So this is one of them. All right, so this is actually, I probably should have showed you this last because this is probably one of the cooler things. I don't know. It's like it's not a backpack, so it's not like a lounge flying backpack, but it is. I don't think it's not. Don't think it's lounge flying. I'm not going to say it is. It says double down, but it is a very nice quality bag. I guess you call it a messenger bag. It's almost shaped like a backpack. It's very interesting. Obviously, the stitching is legit. The colors are awesome. The art's awesome. This is a pretty cool bag. There's art on the back, some gold. I like that too. Bronze, maybe. This is probably one of the cooler things. I think this box is maybe 60, something like that. This obviously probably takes up most of the value on its own. So this is very, very cool. I'm very happy with that. All right, let's work our way down. All right. One thing we'll always have in these things is pins. Actually, there wasn't a pin. There's buttons in the Stranger Things. So, yeah, not always. All right, this is Kobold. So, like I said, I'm new to Dungeons & Dragons. I don't know who Kobold is. Looks like a little lizard or a dragon. He's orange, you know. But it's a nice pen. It is a nice, thick quality enamel pen. You're not going to be able to see it in the camera, but little 3D effects in the lenses. You can see the sunken in a little bit. So, and they're not when you feel it. They feel pretty. See a lot small abrasions, but like when you look at it, it definitely makes it sink in. That's cool. All right. All right, let's go with. This is one you'll always get. Keychains. The iconic Dungeons and Dragons ampersand logo. Very cool. Actually, very decent size too. That's cool. Very nice quality too on that. You can just tell by feeling it. All right. Okay, here we go. Here's one that I'll probably wear a lot. It is a lanyard. So as you know, I go to conventions quite often. This has a bunch of dice. So you got the D20s, D8s, D6. You got all of them on this. So it's pretty cool. I think there's even a D10. Yeah. Bunches. I wish there was like 100. I don't see that though. But looks like there's even a D4. Nice. Even has their Dungeons and Dragons. So it's not just you're never going to see inside that, but it's not just random dice. No IP. This is actually Dungeons and Dragons IP, which is very nice. All right, let's do a Dungeons and Dragons belt. Ruler of Ghoul? Cool. I can't read. It's a different language. Different font. Dungeon Master, Spare the Dying, Attack of Opportunity, Rules as Written, Vicious Mockery, Backup Characters, Raw, Meat Grinder. That goes back to that Rule of Cool. I don't know if maybe it's not a C, maybe it's something else. But Dungeons and Dragons. All right, so we got pretty cool belt. Actually, very long belt. So can fit most people. Pretty big, so that's good. I'm a big dude. And last but not least in the Dungeons and Dragons one, a wallet. Identical branding to the belt. I survived the spell plague. The wizard on it. It's the same branding, but it's different art and stuff like that. So like, good look at that. There you go. The wizard. So, like I said, this was $60. Obviously, most of the money was on the bag. Kind of wish it was almost the same red, white, or these were for the purple and black. They all kept the same color scheme. But they're all really cool stuff. Been a little cool to have it all the same color scheme though. But gear up when I do Dungeons and Dragons. When I do Dungeons and Dragons over Discord audio chats, people can see. All right, that was a cool one, Dungeons and Dragons. All right, next will be, of course, fan favorite of this show, Star Trek. All right, so I saw Star Trek once there, and just so you guys know real quick, I said, okay, I'll take a Star Trek one. The guy goes, okay, what Star Trek? I was like, oh, he goes, I have Next Gen, I have Picard, I have Original Series. So he had 3 different Star Treks. I was like, I know, I'll just take Picard. Looking back, I think I said Picard thinking Next Gen, so I probably would have preferred Next Gen, but this is actually a Picard from the Picard series box. So I just saw a picture of Picard and I thought Next Gen, even though I really didn't do the math in my head. There's a lot of Star Trek. All right, so let me do all right, pen. So each of these pens, they say collect them all. There's 6 images on the back, so I'm saying those are the 6 pens. This is a very, very. This is their insignia. I mean, you can't beat that as a pen. I mean, if you want a Star Trek pen, that's a good pen. These are all great quality, way better than most of the stuff you get at cons, especially from vendors and stuff. This is very, very thick, very nice material. All right. The other thing, this box, obviously, is a different IP, but this is not random like I felt the Stranger Things. This is very, very much structured, identical to the Dungeons and Dragons. Everything I get there, I get again here, which is, I don't know. I almost feel maybe a little taken because it's not as random. Like I thought it was supposed to be all random, but still, I mean, the bag was nice. It's like they got some nice stuff on here, but it's not as random as you would think. Is something like that one, and then the adventure box. We'll get to that super random feeling, but this one and Dungeons & Dragons and the Magic one are very like this is what you kind of get almost every time you open this box. But I don't know, so I had to buy more box. But yeah, it's Picard everywhere. So I actually, like I said, I thought this was Next Gen. Then I saw, I was like, oh, this is literally Picard. So same thing though, very nice belt, very large belt, and same exact style of clasp. It has a bottle opener in case you ever need to drink. Here. All right, let's get on to. Okay, so what was one of the things we got in the last one? We also got a lanyard in the last one. So here's another lanyard. It's Picard a bunch of times. So Star Trek Picard. So still really nice. All right, one of the things we got in the other one too. So this is what I thought was funny. The keychain is identical to the pen. I mean, they're almost exact same size. They are, but they're even made by the same people. I think it's this buckle down on the back. But I mean, they're the same thickness and everything. So very, but I mean, sometimes you want Star Trek on your keychain. Sometimes you want it on your shirt. All right, the wallet is it's the Enterprise. I think the show had up to D. I don't remember. E. I don't remember. And then pretty much, I don't know if you watch Star Trek Picard. First couple of seasons, I mean, this might trigger people, were very meh. And then the last season was one of the greatest TV seasons of all time. And it's because they brought the whole cast back. So I'm glad they have the whole cast on this wallet. So it's got everybody on. So that's really kind of like, that helped a lot. It really drives it home that last season. They brought it all back. Because I was definitely iffy on Picard. And the one thing we're missing that the other box had was the bag. All right, so like I said, it is the exact same stuff, but just a little different stuff, different IP, obviously. This bag is smaller, as you can see. This is not like that one could be a mini backpack. This is not. This is, I don't know, you can't even call this a book bag. I mean, you can fit like small novels in here, but can't fit big books. It's almost like a sandwich bag. It is a much, much smaller bag. It's kind of a fun thing on it, though. It's the again from Picard, the artifact Romulan reclamation site. So that was kind of fun. But still cool. But maybe you want a smaller bag sometimes. Like when I traveled to Japan, and I always carried my passport. I had a small bag like this, always on my chest. So something like this is kind of good for stuff like that. But it is a much smaller bag than the other one. And there's no like additional pockets like the other one has. So value-wise, compared to this one to that one, it's definitely oh, there I go fuzzy again. Definitely not as well. Are we still fuzzy on your end? Okay. Get back to not being fuzzy. All right. So yeah, value-wise, it's not as good as value as the other one because the other value bag is clearly better than this bag. So it was a little disappointing. Like I said, I wish I would have grabbed Next Gen and not Picard, even though I like Picard, but I like Next Gen better. But it was out of the boxes so far, this was maybe one of the more meh ones. But I mean, that's why it's a mystery bag. You're not guaranteed anything, honestly. Take that chance. Is that in the view anymore? Make sure I'm not blocking the view. All right. So let's go to the magic one, which, like I said, I went through earlier and took out most of the trash from all of them. The magic one I did not, because I think you guys need to see this. It's not like it's IP packaging or anything. It's just the way it's packaged. This is what you're going to get every time. Nothing is going to ever change. Because they have styrofoam exactly where everything is. They even have a little tiny slot here for a pen. And a little tiny slot here for, I guess I'm just cutting out ink pens. It's like, you'll never get anything else in here but that. So it made me think, well, I was like, well, every time they sell a magic one, it's going to be the exact same stuff, maybe slightly different designs, but you're going to get the same exact items every single time. So that was a little disappointing. It's not the grab bag stuff like I really like we get to the adventure one, we'll see, where people are just throwing stuff in. So, yeah, so a little disappointed. It's cool stuff in here. We'll get to that. But this was very disappointing. These are pens. And you go, okay, cool pens. But, I mean, the sides split open, so I was able to... these are the cheapest feeling pens in the history of pens. These are very, very low quality pens, which is a little... Just the way they feel really thin. So really sad on those. But they do have the design. So if you're just strictly going for the designs, they got pretty cool magic designs. It would have been cool if each pin was like a color. But, I mean, there's 5 colors and there's 4 pins. They could have added one and done each one. That'd be cool. Like the pin itself. That is one. Am I going fuzzy again? I hope I'm not going fuzzy on you guys' end. So, it is the black. If you know anything about magic, it is the black symbol, black mana logo symbol, I guess you're going to call it. The death, the skull. And that's actually really thick pin too, so I like that pin. Oh, there you go. I dropped it. Now it's destroyed. All right. Like I said, everything is in here perfectly. This is a journal. I know how I said earlier about journals. I mean, they're cool quality. You know, they're always going to be decent price, like value-wise, but at the same time, I don't journal. Now I have 2 journals. Same thing. This is actually a nice sheen to it. It's kind of cool because it actually says Jace. So if you know anything about Magic, Jace is one of the, if there are main characters, he's one of the main characters. So it's very cool. It's got planeswalkers on, so it's definitely like a planeswalker thing. So Jace, that's kind of cool though. So Jace is one of the more popular ones. You know, one of his planeswalker cards was like destroying magic or so good for a while. But yeah, so a journal, decent quality, with Magic Gathering on the back. I guess I could try and show you this. It's very shiny, so it's another one. I don't know. It's going to come through. Let's Jace on it. All right. So let's take out some of these. All right. One thing about the Magic set, like I said, you're never really going to get much variety, but there's some kind of cool stuff now that we're getting to the bigger boxes. This is a bento box. I mean, like, we never thought of a Magic bento box. So it's kind of cool. Put your your snacks for your lunch in it or something. It is actually bamboo is the name of the material. Man, I cannot explain how this feels. It almost feels like a super hard plastic, close to metal. Like it's cool like metal. Like maybe that's how processed bamboo feels. That sounds like plastic, but it's got other colors. The insignias of the colors, but everything's gray. So I thought that was a little weird. It'd been cool if it was like I said, make it an all green box, an all red box, or at least make each color light have the actual colors. They have white, green, red, blue, black, but they're grayed out. So I don't know the significance of the gray is. It's definitely kind of interesting. So that's pretty cool. That's probably worth $15-20 somewhere. If you're really into magic and you need a bento box. All right, this one says a bamboo travel cup. So it looks like all these boxes in here look exactly the same, just different sizes. So they're probably all very similar stuff. Oh my God, they really go fuzzy again. I need to move the camera closer. Move the computer closer. So I can tell it's a connection because I'll hear beep from the phone occasionally. All right, so it's like a coffee mug. Again, the ECU feel is so unique. This one does feel a little rougher, like it might be. Yeah, it's so weird, but it's very unique type feeling. Thick, you know it's going to insulate well. Little rubber lid on it, so it's cool. The same thing, it's all gray, and I don't quite understand the gray factor. It'd be cool if it was like a red, one of the colors. That's what magic is all about. I mean, I guess you could say it's the colorless color. I mean, that is one of the options. All right, maybe we should take this out before I forget. This says it is a ramen bowl, so that's kind of cool. There's a picture. A little ramen bowl. See, now that has the colors, so that's kind of what I wish they all had the colors. But some chopsticks. They're just orange. They sound like wood. They feel glazed. They almost feel like number 2 pencils, so they probably are wood, which is nice. I don't know why, wood chopsticks over plastic. It's like a feel thing, but I definitely do. Well, I wanted to take out most of the trash earlier, because I know this trash is annoying, gets in the way, sounds odd on camera. But here's that bento bowl. Now that is bento bowl. This is the ramen bowl. It's got all the colors and the Planeswalker logo on the back, and you put your chopsticks like this. I thought that was pretty cool, actually. This is one thing that won't be a gift. This will be one thing that goes in my cupboard. And that's it for the magic box. I think there's probably another $60 around there. Like the value's there. I mean, this, the bento box, and the mug itself are probably all going to be $15 to $20 each. Then you got all these other little things thrown in. All this stuff isn't for everyone. Like these pens, these you give to your kids because you know they're going to destroy. They're not going to last. The pen is cool. Oh, was there a keychain? There was no keychain, huh? All right. So the deal was you buy 4 boxes and they will give you a 5th one free. What did I do with that 5th box? Oh, it's over here. But the 5th box is, they had more 30,000 foot view themes. Like they had sci-fi, video games, not individual IPs. I saw fantasy adventure. I was like, well, if you kind of look at some of the stuff I am into, it's fantasy adventure. Sci-fi would have probably been an option too. But I was like, I'm going to go fantasy adventure. I love fantasy adventure. All right. So this one, just looking at real quick, they ran through the warehouse and threw stuff in. So I think that's actually probably a little cooler. There is an inflatable crown. You blow it up and you put it on your head. I think that is, maybe I can wear the rest of this thing. Well, I'm sure this is riveting video, but look, you got an inflatable crown. I mean, how cool is that? I think that's already one of the coolest things from here. So, all right, let's get to And another journal. This is a Harry Potter journal, though, so it kind of says Tom Riddle journal. But I need to remember to see if the Tom Riddle journal actually had the school's insignia, a crest on the front. That's what it has. It has the Hogwarts crest. So, but I mean, it's a black journal. You can see it's Tom Riddle, but still another journal. You're never going to see if it's indented, but it does have the Hogwarts insignia. All right. All right. So here is a pair of Gryffindor Gryffindor socks. Yeah. I mean, cool. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I wear socks. That's Gryffindor, so that's cool. All right. So some of these, like, this is the thing. Problem with grab bags is like, it's cool and it's valuable. I don't really wear it. A lot of stuff. A beanie, King of the North, Game of Thrones. That's Jon Stark right there. King of the North, got the wolf. I don't wear beanies, but that's a cool beanie. Not gonna lie. If I wore a beanie, that'd be cool. Maybe, I don't know, one day I'll have to brave the weather of Michigan or something. Maybe visit Bryce or something and wear a beanie. But that's very cool. It's definitely nice too. And on the same exact note, you can tell this is a theme for them. Winter is coming scarf. I mean, this is, you can probably tell Game of Thrones has been over for a few years, so they're like, all right, let's go through and grab all the clearance stuff, throw it in. I mean, there's Harry Potter stuff, there's this. But heck, you know what? To me, I'm a nerd, and as a nerd, stuff doesn't go out of date. It's just, I mean, Star Wars has been going forever. It just happens to come back around. Stuff really doesn't go out of date. I don't wear scarves. Like I said, if I ever go to somewhere where it's cold, I'll wear a scarf. All right. Last two things. I saved these for last because before we go on, I make sure I have the camera view. It's not fuzzy because for some reason it looks fuzzy again on my view. But I can just talk right now. The box says Fantasy Adventure. And so Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, those fit the Fantasy Adventure. These last two things kind of made me scratch my head. This is a pin for Jurassic Park. It is a, oh my God, what's the spitting dinosaur? Diplosaurus or something like that. I don't remember the spider's name. The spider dinosaur's name. It spits, but it's like smiling too. So it's kind of cute, but this is not Fantasy Adventure. This is, like I said, they're just going around the warehouse throwing stuff in, which I kind of think is cool. Give me all the stuff you guys don't want. I'll take it all. Because I'm a nerd. This because it's not Fantasy Adventure, I don't like Jurassic Park. I think you can see it right there. I have the Jurassic Park amber mosquito right there. So that's pretty cool. So I love Jurassic Park. And last but not least, a lanyard. Colors are kind of bright, but what is it? It is a hoverboard lanyard for Back to the Future. Yeah, very odd. It's in the Fantasy Adventure one again. More should be like the sci-fi box, but it's got the theming, nice colors of the board. Back to the Future. Oh my God, I don't fuzzy kid did it. I'm sorry if the on my end it looks fuzzy. I really hope it doesn't look fuzzy on your end, which would be really sad. I'm gonna have to re-record this on a different camera. It's got the little hoverboard, and so pretty cool stuff from that. So this free one was, for me, it was like the most fun because it's just obviously a bunch of random stuff thrown in. The Stranger Thing was also seeing a bunch of random stuff thrown in too, which I like. The Star Trek and these are my final thoughts. The Star Trek and the Dungeons and Dragons, those like they had to check. You had to throw a lanyard in, had to throw a pin in, had to throw a bag in, and so I don't know. It took some of the fun out, I guess, a little bit. But I mean, the nicest thing, they're probably the bags out of everything. I just don't know why the fact it doesn't seem so random took a little bit of fun. I mean, it's more of a personal choice. But some boxes you buy, you're going to know exactly if you want a big Dungeons and Dragon bag. It might be a different color, but it's probably going to be like that at all. And then the magic bag. Magic bag was, I like the stuff in it. It's just because the way the styrofoam is. I mean, there's a little notch out for the pin and a notch out for the. God, I hate saying pin and pins, but pins, notch out for the pins. So it's like, I bet you every single one of those is exactly the same. Honestly, it's gonna be rough to have even different colors. Because I mean, yeah, we'll see. Maybe if you buy another one, they'll have different color mug. You know what? The pins will be different. I can tell you about the pins, but I don't expect anything else in the Magic Box to be different. I don't know. I only bought one box. This is not set in stone for anything. This is a one-time opening, so you viewers can have some educated guess when you go and you see it. Because honestly, every time I go to Comic-Con and I see these walls of boxes, like I just want to try it. I was like, I really want to knock this out. And so I decided to do it and decided to help you guys, educate you guys on what you might get. What are the chances? Definitely recommend the fantasy box. I love the randomness. I would not buy the same boxes again just for fear of getting the same stuff. I would get another fantasy box though, because I guarantee you it's going to be different stuff in the fantasy box. But I bet you that this is just guessing. Dungeons & Dragons, I bet you the bag might be different, but everything else is going to be the same. Star Trek, same thing. And the pins are 1 of 6, so it's going to be that box. It's 1 of 6 different pins, but most, like the belts and the wallets, those are going to be very similar. Yeah. And the Magic one, that's going to be a tough one. But the Stranger Things, that felt very random too. I think you saw a bunch of posters